Hi, everybody. It's Willny 4. Guys, I've done 3 videos now that were sent to me by my great grandson, Willny 14, who you see here. And he sent them to me because they were really distinctive ships from a great shipbuilder called Dr. Bit 18. But as you can see, they are not very practical if you're actually trying to build a business, which I know he is. And just the other day, I shared with you his efforts to get a new headquarters, which went very well over at the Mantis Lair. And today he sent me a video which really showed that he is serious. And so I'll have him explain it to you right now.
Hello from the future. Having finally secured a headquarters for Willny Enterprises at the former Mantis Lair, we now have to expand our fleet of starships. My companions and I will be reviewing 6 very large ships today to see which is best for the cargo management side of our business. In future videos we will be evaluating ships to facilitate resource acquisition, manufacturing, and, of course, security. Sam, since you are our payload expert, what are you looking for in the ideal ship to support our logistics requirements?
Well, the major requirement is that the cargo capacity of the ship should be at least 20,000 kilos. Now, we know that such a ship could suffer from low mobility and speed, thus making it an easier target for pirates. Therefore, we need a hull rating and shield of around 5,000 minimum. I also want the ship to have the best weapons and support a crew of 10. These are all large ships, so their size should discourage all but the most determined foes. I may compromise on some of the requirements if the physical appearance is a sufficient deterrent. Finally, we will consider the price, relative value, and the ease of modifying the ship to our final specifications. Shall we begin our review?
Okay, well, Will has sent me his notes on the ships, and along with the video of his tour. So let's take a look at them. The first one is Solivagant, and you can see that this is a C-class ship. It has a crew of 9, I guess he wanted 10. I look at the hull and the cargo, quite a bit less than what they were interested in. So I am not exactly sure why this ship is included, but let's go ahead and see. It's relatively inexpensive at a value of 102,000 credits, and it is a very handsome ship. And you can see it's got pretty good components. And here's the flyover up at the Zosma 5 ship headquarters. And, it has these separate wings. And it looks like there's quite a bit of space available here. So it's possible that they see some chances for adding more cargo, perhaps a bigger reactor. I'm not sure. But let's go down and take a look inside, and maybe I can come up with the idea of why he likes this one so much. Okay, well, we have on the ground floor, what do we have here? A big empty space. And on the other side, okay. Well, that is certainly useful, something to have when you're out and about and exploring. And here's a transfer room for getting beamed around. Okay, that's cool. Right here on the ground floor. So let's go up to the next floor and see what we have. This would normally be a mess hall, I think, but it's empty. And over on the side, this is probably a computer core. No, maybe it's an engineering. A combo with some computer resources. And okay, taking us over here, at least showing it to us. But now, oh, I see. We're going to go across out to the wings. Oh, this is very nice. This is very nice. And it's kind of an all-in-one, but I think the crew would be very happy staying out here. And we do have a lot of empty space, so it looks to me like, and let's see, go on the other side and see what we have. Yeah, it's the same, I think, right? Let's see. Well, maybe this is... Well, this is another all-in-one, bare minimum. Yeah, it's again be very nice crew stations over here. And of course, again, as I said, engineering on this side too. So, yes, we're now heading to the front of the ship. There's a control station. And here's the cockpit. Oh, okay. Well, he must have go back and show us something else. I did see a ladder back there. And I guess got to try and... Oh, there it is. Oh, that jumps up to a reactor core setup. You know, that's very nice. So this is a big ship with a lot in it. I'm not quite sure the functionality, but I think he'll want to take us up on a little tour of how it flies. And while we're looking at that, I'm going to check my notes and see what his conclusion was about this ship. Well, it can move, and it's somewhat mobile. It's not super fast. And you'll see the weapon systems, particle, missile, and laser. And this is from the view from inside the cockpit. Oh, that's very good. Yeah, that's nice. And here's kind of the flying perspective on the ship. So this is Will's take on this. what he likes about it is there's a tremendous amount of empty space. He's not going to have to do a lot of removing habs and rebuilding them and so on. It's essentially going to be a ship, Solivagant, that he can do what he wants with it. The second ship is the Avontech Destroyer Mk II. Wow, this is an impressive looking ship. It is, again, a sea reactor. It has pretty good hull and a lot of cargo, high shield. This is a little bit closer to what I thought Will would want to be focused on. It's expensive, though. That may be a factor here. But it's all based on from the Avontech company, which makes some wonderful components. Well, here it is. And this is in Aquila, I guess they're showing this one off. Well, that is some gorgeous looking ship, but it kind of overwhelms the landing pad here. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some problems. The very tip is just touching that fence, but you know, there could be a problem in other parts of it. Look at it in comparison to that freighter that's just coming in. Oh man, that is beautiful. So let's get inside and see what it's like. Oh, it's a very long entrance hall. Very interesting. And up the stairs, and there are actually habs on the side off that central corridor. This is a big cargo hold inside the ship. And this looks like engineering over here. Yeah. Oh, well, look at all of this. These are all-in-ones, I guess, for the crew on this side. And this is kind of a, oh, it looks like we are part of the Aquila City sign inside our little control room here. Again, it shows you how big this thing is. But I like this ship. Now we cross over, and here it's more crew, all-in-one living spaces, and this is another control room, computer core. This is the cargo bay again, and then we jump over to the other side. More crew spaces. So this is very practical. Oh, there's the docker, and then we have stairs in here up to the second floor, another engineering bay that just jumps us right up into the cockpit. Well, it looks like we have a couple choices for pilot seat, but this is the one that Will chose. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, you can see there's lots of cargo in this ship. Well, okay, let's see how this thing does. Well, it gets up to 700. That's pretty good. The weapon systems work okay. And it is certainly an intimidating looking ship. And I particularly like the Avontech engines in the back. That blue glow is really nice. The whole ship has that Avontech blue highlighting, which is characteristic and really great. So we'll take a look at it from the outside. In the sky, nice. So I think the only real downside to this is I think it is underpowered. And it is very expensive, but that intimidation factor is worth something. We'll see what Will and his crew think. Okay, next up is Goliath II. So I'm not surprised that this is another very big ship. Look at that. So this has a C-reactor with 112 power, 21 crew, a hull of 6589, that's great, and 128,115 cargo. But boy, it's expensive. 654, 702. How does that compare to the Avontech? That was 680. So this is definitely up there. But let's go take a look at it. It's really a beautiful job of exterior refinements, and obviously all of this is contributing to that great hull rating. And we see it's some from the material company, and pretty standard. But here it is on the, I guess this is the Dark Star Omen shipbuilder platform, which is very pretty, practical. Okay, I think it's time that we drop down and see what the ship has to offer on the inside. So we come up into the infirmary. That's interesting. I guess that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? And there's our docker right next to it. That's good. And we have a cargo bay leading into an engineering section. And over here is kind of a crew area, although it's that's a little tight to be playing ping pong. Another companionway with some cargo. And looks like this ship is built around basically 1x1 habs. And so it's a very efficient use of space. For odd in a very big ship to have such small rooms. And it certainly wasn't for economy because it's still expensive. It's like little mini control rooms. We go through this science lab here, which is full size. So to get up to the next floor, I guess we're going to need to go to the ladder. Yeah, just a companion storage area. And this looks like the ladder probably up to the cockpit. And here's a little 1x1 all-in-one. And infirmary again. Another big engineering. Another 1x1. Looks like the companions would all get their own room, which is nice. Yeah, there's another one. And we have a plant here, so this must be the captain's quarters. And armory. There's captain's quarters too. Guess co-pilot. And a control room, okay. So the one thing we have to do is to go back now, all the way back to that ladder to get up to the cockpit. So as I recall from the outside, there's nothing at this next level. It's just another stock room. And really nothing on that level. And finally, we come up to the cockpit. So if this ship weren't already so expensive, I would definitely put an elevator or staircase in, because that's a lot of climbing. It's a nice cockpit. I question what those dishes are right in front of your visual space. So I don't quite know what the theory is for that, but let's see what happens when we get up in the air. Of course, you can always go to third-person view. Very clean looking underneath, and lots of nice graphics for get that thrust to get up in the air. And, from this view, it's not particularly fast. but there's the turrets on a couple of the weapons groups, so we can't see too much. Well, there's that that dish, which may be weapons related. I'm not sure, but I would definitely change that out. So from the sky, it is a substantially powerful looking machine. Okay, well, next is the Sys Def Nomad. So this says the C-Reactor 200, very powerful, 20 crew, 2320 shield. The hull is 2413, and it's got 86,197 total in cargo. So this is all very good. And 284,589. So it's kind of in the middle in terms of value. You can see there's an awful lot of storage, which is lined up on the top of the ship. Easy to get to. And we have Matelia weapons and Vanguard. It's got some good equipment in it. And some in Trinity, I see also. Now for our flyover. From the attention to detail here and the coloring, I have a feeling this is going to have some nice habs inside. That's probably what's contributing to that additional expense. Yeah, it's kind of nice. So let's get down to ground level here and go inside and see what it's like. Okay, we enter into, this is a Stroud Premium Edition staircase, pretty sure. And off to one side, there's a big cargo bay. It's a big one. And another staircase over here. There's your captain's quarters. Very nice. And we'll go up these stairs and see what we have up here. And it is the infirmary. Got its own staircase. I think maybe that an elevator, of course, a one-story elevator is not that great, but now we're back to where we came into the ship. And here is a large control room or a computer core of some kind. Another extension of it. The docker is up above, and this is just a companionway that goes to the cockpit. So with acceleration and speed, that big reactor really is great. So this has plenty of speed, and the weapons are, look great from the cockpit. It moves very nicely. So from outside, the photo view, I think this ship could do very well. It's not super intimidating, but the combination of speed and the nice weapons really make it very good. Next, we had the Basilisk Mk II. Well, this is certainly an awesome ship. It has an A reactor, but a power of 151, crew of 26, very high shield, and look at the hull, 18,772, but the cargo, 392,850. So this is really quite a ship. The value, 294,723. So it's very expensive. But let's take a little look at it. So Dark Star Astronaut Dynamics, motors, engines, looks like that's a primary company that makes everything that's in this ship. Very impressive. Okay, here we are at the Basilisk Mk II. And we enter, let's see. Okay, on this ground floor, there's the docker. Very convenient. So let's jump up a floor. Looks like this ladder goes up a ways, but we'll get off here. And that's quick, just go straight ahead. We have a science lab and the infirmary. Excellent. Now off to the side over here, we have engineering and an armory. And this is a brig with the kind of a secondary brig. Not quite sure what the reason for having two, but maybe that's for the elite pirates that are captured. Okay, well, let's go over to the other side. Here's another ladder going up, but a big empty hab, and this one is must be a computer center of some type. Oh, over here is a beautiful garage. Very nice. And workshop. Combination, but that's not all. Here's another armory and an all-in-one. So I think that takes care of this floor. back to the elevator, but I'm going to do something a little bit different. 2 and 3, I think, connect to the cockpit. So I'm going to go up to 4, and then we'll come back to 3 and 2. Now, I think that 4 is really basically empty spaces. Kind of do what you want with these. They're huge habs. And this could be a mess hall or a staff lounge of some type, but it's empty. And here's a full workshop. Another big empty hab. So there's not much up here. Let's see if I didn't get something. Well, yeah, so here's an all-in-one with a nice control room, feature navigation table, and this looks like it could have been an armory, but it's vacant space ready for the next purchaser to outfit it. Okay, well, let's go down to 3. And see what's here. Well, I can see cockpit kind of straight ahead, but here's an all-in-one, more living spaces here, nice porthole. This is staff hangout, staff lounge, and over here is all-in-ones again. And let's see, I think we go down to the end here, and we come to our cockpit. Very nice, of course, with the stairs that go down to 2. And this is a serious control room. It's a really nice one. And another staff lounge. Mess hall. And I think that's it. So I think it's time to take this up in the sky and see how it flies. Awful lot of activities here. This is a big ship, boy. We're not doing shattered space now, so let's give this, see what our speed is, top speed. So about 560 or so. That's pretty good. particle beams, really. More particles. And their ballistics, boy, really work great. Oh, this is impressive, isn't it? Look at that. That is truly a great ship. Well, we'll see what Will and the gang think about it. Now we have the Normandy SC1. And if we just take a look at this for a second, hull 6,900, cargo 49,000, almost 50,000, 27 crew 8,160, shield, but boy, only 118,176. So this is, second to the cheapest, but boy, it's got a lot of stuff in it. Let's see. I love the construction of it. A couple of those observation bulbs there are nice, and internalized reactor, and I think grav drive, a lot of nice features. And here's our engine, shield, grav drive, reactor, Deratech and Matilia, all very nice. Okay, from the air, you can see that this is really a big ship with the outboard areas with ramps off on the side, combined with the length, which far exceeds this landing pad. This will be a substantial presence in the sky if you can find a landing pad big enough to land it, because it really is huge. And it's got a bunch of those powerful white dwarf engines in the back. That is interesting. I mean, it doesn't have the aesthetic details that some of the others have, but it's a no-nonsense design, and it's got lots of cargo space. So let's go down. We're going to have to jump up to get into the landing bay. Okay, we're inside, going up one of the ramps, and we have engineering that takes up that module, and up the next ramp, and there's a storeroom or companionway right into the infirmary, which kind of makes sense. And I think that what Will wants to do, so we don't get lost, and this is a confusing ship, is to go right over to the other side, in which there's the parallel ramp system. And that will, I believe, lead to another landing bay. Of course, we have the docker here in what looks like a command or computer core. And here is our other docker that goes out to the outpost. So that's very convenient to have two of them in the same ship on opposite sides. And now let's go back and see if we can keep track of where everything is, because it is not easy. But the staircase will kind of be our guide for now. So back to the infirmary, that's where we came in. And going down on this side of the ship, which I think is the starboard side, we have a storeroom and a kind of galley arrangement. And this is a control center, I guess. Yeah, of some type. And this is over mess hall. I don't know if that's considered part of that galley or not. I'm not sure. And if we keep heading in this direction, we have another control room or computer area, another storeroom, more computers. And this actually would take us up to this really wonderful Matilda cockpit, which we'll come back to a little while later. So that's staircases, I think, goes up to the observation bulb, but let's stay over and now to this side, which is the port side of the ship, I believe. More stock room going back to infirmary. There's our staircase again. And we'll go up to the second floor. And aft, we end up going through the rotating core system that's probably Deratech, and here we are at our first observation bulb. It's almost as much fun getting to it as it is to actually be there. Really colorful and exciting, isn't it? So this is a workbench area, and here this living quarters, I guess. And this is almost certainly a control center, but a really big one. So here's that ladder I was mentioning. Let's see. Yeah, that takes us up to the second observation deck. A lot of interesting little features on the outside too. Okay, well, I think that we're probably ready to head to the front. Oh, well, here's another little doorway. Oh, that is actually a door to the outside, I think. Well, maybe we'll get a chance to try that out up like a porthole door. All right, well, let's take it up. Doesn't have the dramatic thrusters that some of the others, but something looks impressive as it's taking off. Okay, we got everything powered up, so let's see how we do. So it gets over 800, that's pretty good. It looks pretty good in the from third person view, and does move along. So from the outside, our kind of our photo view, Lots of colorful stuff going on in the different parts of the ship. Oh, what's this? Oh, I think I know what Will was planning here. If we head back, here's our airlock door. And it's quite a lot of drama. If you open that up, a lot of things happen, but here you are. You're out floating in space. So you could take the whole tour of the ship this way. But he's got his weapon drawn. I wonder if he knows something here. Let's see. Oh, uh-oh. Well, this is something a little that we were not really counting on, that there are actually going to be some pirates in there. Oh, something happened. Well, he ended up back in the ship, and it looks like it was finally to clear these guys out. I think they're part of the airlock system. You can make some decisions about how much trouble you want to have if you want to use the airlock, but I guess he didn't know when he tried it out. Well, there's one more, and that guy is history. So that is the Normandy. I have to say that I'm impressed. So let's go do a summary here and see what Will has to say.
Will, I hope you agree that our shipbuilding skills have really advanced recently. We have analyzed the 6 ships based on the criteria that Sam gave us. I have asked Sarah to summarize our findings and explain why we made a final choice.
Will, here is the summary list. Avontech is the most intimidating, but also the most expensive, and has the lowest hull. Solivagant is the cheapest, but did not meet any of the other requirements. It is an empty shell that could be upgraded if we did not have better choices. Goliath II exceeded all requirements, but was hard to traverse and was the second most expensive. Sys Def Nomad met all the requirements except hull, but was the second least intimidating and was expensive. Basilisk Mk II far exceeded our requirements, but was larger than we needed and also was expensive. So our final choice was Normandy SC1. It has the second highest hull, meets the shield and cargo requirements, and is moderately intimidating. However, it is less than half the price of the 4 other high-capacity ships and has ample empty or duplicative habs that can be replaced with either internal or external cargo if needed. It has the best bridge, staircases, great speed, and good weapons. I think we will be very happy with this choice. Do you agree? Our next visit will be to the famous Veerloth shipyard to select a ship for our commercial enterprises.
Okay, we're back, and I hope that you found this to be useful. Now, I do have to apologize because I'm sure there are mistakes made in the video that has attributed certain features, engines, reactors to the wrong mod maker or manufacturer. And of course, it's common these days to say, well, it's the former guy's fault. In this case, Will just handed me the notes and I read them. So I apologize for any mistakes that came that way. But where did the ships actually come from? KenShin's ship repository. Boy, that's a tongue twister. Provided the Avontech Destroyer, the Basilisk Mk II, and the Normandy SC2. So the Solivagant ship was uploaded by AZ Viking 69 Gamer. That great Goliath ship is from Ocean Green 871231. And finally, Sys Def Nomad comes from Chiron 121 Omega. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And I'll see you again with the next video on Virlov's great spaceships. Bye.